a recording. Okay, I guess it's working now. So, hello and welcome to this workshop about IELTS reading. Let me introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Yelena and I've been teaching IELTS since 2018. It is the year when I first passed my IELTS exam. And yeah, probably it's strange, but I started to help my acquaintances, friends with IELTS after that. And I will explain you why just a little bit later. I'm an IDP partner. It means that you can register for the IELTS exam. Just text me and I will do everything for you, besides payment, of course. I'm also a Scholarium speaker and I'm an admin in our Telegram chat about immigration from Kazakhstan to Canada. Actually, that's why I started teaching IELTS that year, because I was like an active participant of this chat and I got some acquaintances from the chat and I helped them. So if you are thinking about moving, probably immigrating, then you can text me and I will invite you to this chat and you will find some interesting, useful information there. So my IELTS overall is 8.0 and I have the highest score in reading, which is 8.5. And here you can see my Instagram. I know that some of you are subscribed already to this. So if you are not, then welcome. Let me tell you what we are going to speak about. But before we start, I know that some of you already work with IELTS, some don't. But I want you to know that in IELTS reading, we have a lot of tasks, much more than in IELTS listening. And here you can see, I guess, all of them. So we will work with some. We will have like real text today from authentic materials from some Cambridge and other sources. And we will work with it. I will show you how to work with different types of tasks, and also we will discuss some techniques. Okay, so I want you to look at this list now and text me in the chat. Basically, there is only 14 people, so I guess you can turn on your microphone and say, what do you think is the most challenging task in IELTS reading? You can text or say.
For me, can I say? Yeah. I don't know why, but for me, it's matching hearings is one of the most challenging activities.
Yeah, we will have one of these tests today. Okay.
Okay, can I say?
Anna?
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Well, personally, I think identifying writers' views or claims is the most challenging because sometimes your viewpoints can differ.
Okay, so it's yes, no, not given. Okay, we will have true, false, not given today. Not yes, no, but I agree with you. Usually when we discuss it with students, like this is like top two, yeah, we can say true, false, not given, and matching headings. Okay, so let me tell you about some approaches. So probably you know them because you work not only with IELTS, but with English in general. But so just a second, I need to accept a person. Okay, so okay, so we have two approaches here, and this is not like something that you have to do. It is something that works for me, but this is my statistics about my students. So we have two approaches. First, we read the questions in IELTS reading, and the second that we should start with the text. So we will discuss these questions, which we had before, these tasks. Can you text or say in which of these tasks we should first read the text?
So matching hearings, we have to read the text in order to understand the information, the exact information in each paragraph.
You know, I actually was preparing for this workshop for some time, and I watched a lot of videos on YouTube from different teachers. And you know, some of them say that okay if you start with reading almost in each task. But of course, they say like, oh, if you're an advanced student, you can start with a text. My opinion is that it's wasting of time anyway, because you don't need this information from the text. So it is definitely much better to start with the tasks in almost all of these tasks besides matching heading. Okay, so it works like that. Yeah, matching headings, first read the task for the text, sorry, and for other, we start with questions or with the task. Okay. We also have, it's also called some kind of approach. I guess you know it. It works not only for IELTS. Yeah, so this is called intensive reading and extensive reading. So we have two types of reading. And you can see we have thumbs up here for extensive reading. Can anyone tell what it means? Extensive reading? What is the main idea of it? So intensive, it's when you read everything, when you, for example, work in general English, and you, for example, have some, I don't know, sentences. Yeah, so you divided the text into sentences and you want the student to make a text to order the sentences. So this is called intensive reading. So of course, in this way, in this kind of task, the student has to read everything and to understand every word probably. But extensive reading, it's this reading for general idea. So basically that's the thing that we use on the IELTS exam, IELTS reading. Yeah, because we don't need to understand every single word. This actually is maybe tip number 0 here, yeah, because it's some basic thing which we definitely should start teaching our students with, that they don't have to understand every word. Sometimes we want to be perfect, we want to know everything, but it's not a good idea to stuck on the words which you don't know. Okay, so this is some kind of a plan of our workshop. We are going to speak about skimming and scanning, about structures, predictions, headings, and about practice of reading in general. So let's start with skimming and scanning. I guess you use these techniques. Again, skimming is more like extensive reading, and scanning, it is when we just try to find some words. We will do this today with you. And tell, please, you can just put a plus in the chat if you explain these two techniques to your students, if you use them. Anna, it depends. Why? On the student, on the
Can I
level?
say?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it depends on, I guess, the age of the student, because when you do the reading with the young learners, they don't really need to know the names of the techniques that you're using.
Okay, yeah. But we teach them anyway, yeah? We try to teach them. Okay, so before we start, I forgot to say that basically, like, the workshop is mostly for those who want to work with IELTS. I told about it that if you have some students who maybe are going to pass it in their future, then it will be really useful for you. And those who already teach IELTS, probably we will discuss some questions in the end. I hope that probably you will have some other kind of tips and techniques that you would also be able to add here. Okay, so let's start then. We have a text here. I really love it. It's really interesting, not like the idea itself, but in terms of teaching IELTS reading. So can you see everything? Is everything okay? Is it clear? Put the plus, please, also. Okay. So I will give you some time to read, but before we start reading, of course, we need to look at questions. So let me take something here, some kind of pencil. Okay, so the first thing that you probably know we need to teach our students is to look at how many words we need to write if we have such a task when we need to fill in the gaps, yeah, complete something. So here we have a diagram which we need to complete, only 4 questions. It's not in from IELTS Cambridge, it's just from a book for IELTS practice. So what we are going to do with you. So I would like you to, I guess you can turn on your microphones because there are not a lot of people here, so we can speak. Okay, so let's discuss the questions and find the keywords that we are going to find in the text after that. And
Should I read this undergraduate study?
no,
Or
let's
the
start just with
text?
question number 1. So what word can be the most important here?
No.
Bachelor in 4 years.
Okay, so basically everything, but also we need to pay attention to something that we have, right?
Yeah.
So it looks very similar. Yeah, so probably it will be something like the opposite or similar to the word general. Yeah, but another thing because we have 4
Like
years here.
professional degrees?
Okay, so do you think that's a correct answer?
Like, because in the text they say professional degrees such as engineering or law are completed over 4 years.
Okay, yeah, so first of all, we start with a 3-year, yeah, because we have it in the beginning. Yeah, so it's bachelor's degree, and then we have this 4 years, and we have professional degree. So do we need to write professional degree or just professional?
Professional
Professional?
is a
Yeah.
noun.
Okay, so that's very important thing because a lot of students, they don't look at another like things that they have, yeah, so it should be the same, like parallel structure, we can call it. Okay, let's go to number 2. We have the most important thing here that we have some kind of additional here, right?
Who reads?
Oriana, I didn't hear you.
Hello?
Mhm.
Yeah, should I read again?
If you want to, I see you and Galina only.
Okay.
Okay.
Plus 1 year means like 5 years in general.
Okay.
So I guess it's what is that? Dentistry and veterinary. What is the stress in this word? I have no idea. But these are 3 words, not 2.
Yeah. And also we need to understand what they mean. Yeah. So with something. So again, it is about looking at some words which are the most important. Yeah. So we need to scan the text to find this because probably this preposition will remain in the text. You can also find it.
I guess like Jesus.
Bachelor degrees with honors.
Oh.
Which is an extra year of study at more advanced level.
Yes, so you don't have to do the math here, okay? Yes, it says like plus 1 year, but probably they won't say like 5, but they just will say additional, yeah, or extra, as we have it here. So the question here is that we need to understand the order. So we looked at this paragraph first, and then we went to this one. Okay, that's why we need scanning, because for example here we don't have anything about bachelor degree at all, right? So I will then show you how I worked with this text, and you will see that there are some paragraphs that we don't need at all. Okay, Galina, let's look at question number 3.
Okay, so master degree 1 year. So this is the postgraduate program, so we need to look through the paragraphs about post-graduation.
Masters.
And here is the 1 year. Master courses are typically 1 year, yeah.
1 year, okay.
And master degree may require, okay, full-time
Mm-hmm. And again, you'll probably
You
saw that we have two
part-time and full-time.
kind of things
Yeah,
with master's degree. And again, we
yeah,
have
we have
something in
part-time.
brackets.
That's why we need to use full-time.
Yes. So again, this parallelism, actually, all the questions, they are somehow connected. So here we see not only skimming and scanning, we also can see prediction. Yeah. So we can predict what they need from us.
Here is a kind of
Okay.
tip for answers.
Yeah. Because I guess when you hear part-time, you understand that the opposite can be only, yeah, we don't have anything else. Okay.
Easy.
The last one.
So 3-4 years.
Julia, maybe you will try.
Doctoral degree.
Okay, can you prove it?
Here in the last paragraph, we can see that a doctoral degree is assessed based on a dissertation, although blah, blah, blah. The last sentence, generally, this degree will last 3 to 4 years.
I have a question because some of my students were a little bit confused because they wanted to say that it's doctoral program. So which one is the correct one, degree or program?
I think, of course, in previous answers, we have degree in previous question. We have the word degree. We should use the word degree as well here in number 4.
Yes, totally. And also we have this kind of connection about 3-4 years here. Yeah, so maximum usually we can connect 2 sentences together, but not the whole paragraph. Okay, so that's how we work with it. How can I? Oh, okay. This is the next slide where I showed how we should work with it. So the green is everything which we have the correct answers. You can see that one paragraph we don't need at all. So that's why we need this technique. We need to scan everything because sometimes we just don't have any important information and we just skip it. Okay, and also the most important thing when we have such, it's not a usual thing, but sometimes we can have such text. Yeah, so we need to understand the order of it because sometimes it is a little bit strange. The next thing that we are going to discuss today is distractors. So also I want you to put some pluses probably if you tell your students about distractors, if you show sometimes how they want to confuse us in reading. Okay. Okay, so distractors are words, usually these are synonyms, yeah, or sometimes paraphrasing, which can distract us, confuse us. And sometimes when people try to read too fast and don't understand the idea in general at all, they just see some keywords and they think that it's okay, but it's not. So we will have another text now. It is about 2 great artists, Rothenberg and Warhol. I hope you know them. So I created such a task for you here. We have only one paragraph. It's just one paragraph from a text. The text is like a real one, very long. So we have 3 questions here. And definitely at least one of them is false. And on the example of this question, we will discuss distractors. So I will again give you some time to try to find answers. And whenever you're ready, you can turn on your microphone and camera or text in the chat. Oh, thank you, Julia. I'm glad to see that. Okay. So if you are ready, you can just put a plus. If you want to share your thoughts, if you want to discuss the questions with me, then turn on your camera so I will understand that you are ready to work.
Yeah, how do you correctly pronounce the name of the first painter?
Rauschenberg.
Rauschenberg, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. So actually, I'm not a fan of art, by the way, and this topic is something not very interesting for me and for most of my students. Yeah, but I was quite surprised, I can say, that some people don't know the second one,
Oof.
the second Warhol, yeah, the second artist, because I thought that he's like widely famous. Okay, so nobody's gonna turn on their cameras, I guess, so we will work with you, Anna. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So let's see what we have here. So the first one is about unwell. Yeah, so first of all, probably we need to think about what kind of detractors or again synonyms we can find in the text.
Well, something like sick or disease, or I don't know, like the synonyms that are connected to bad condition of health, like this. And this information about him is not given.
Okay, I see that 3 people already answered. Okay, so you're right, it's not given. But the thing is that when we work with students, we can just give them answers and say, okay, good work, yeah, good job, and let's go to the next one. So it's a good idea to explain why it's why some students can think that it's true or false. Yeah, sometimes it's connected to the other answer. So what can be a distractor here?
Well, I guess all the other information. Because like we see like the information about his birthplace, about his parents, and so on, but nothing connected to his health.
Okay, Yulia, maybe you want to say something? Your microphone is off.
We can see here the information that his childhood environment was hardly inspiring. And I think that could be a distractor. Yeah.
Probably, but actually not here, no. Galina, do you have any other opinion?
I had the same opinion about childhood because it was given as unwell as a child.
Okay, so I see that Victoria texted us that Warhol was sick as a child. This is the correct like explanation here. A sickly child. So I really had a student who told me that number 1 is true because he saw Rauschenberg, he saw sickly child. He said it's true. And he just didn't see Warhol here. But this is just a comparison. Yeah, and the sentence is actually about Warhol. So that's why some people can say that it's true, because they can forget that it is about 2 people, sorry, not 1. Okay, let's go to the second one. Yulia, what is your answer for the second question?
Second one is true, and this sentence proves it. Like Rauschenberg, Warhol was close to his mother, so we can see here them were had positive relationship with their mothers.
Do we have anything like in real sentence the explanation about Rauschenberg besides this comparison?
Yes, we have.
Galina, where?
His mother, on the other hand, supported her son as much as she could.
Yes. So we have not only this comparison, we have like totally 100% proof. Okay. The third one, Galina, what do you think?
So I didn't have time to look through because I was interrupted.
Okay.
So
it's the third question. You can write in the chat, by the way. What do you think? Let's check your guesses.
Yeah, can I? about Warhol began to develop when he went to New York. There's the sentence. He eventually enrolled in the Carnegie Institute in Pittsburgh, where he took his first steps into the art world.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so your answer?
Yeah, so he began to develop not in New York, but in Pittsburgh.
Okay, so does it mean that it's false?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so I really want to know the other students, teachers here opinion. So who thinks that it's false? I just want to check your guesses now.
I agree that it's
Answers.
false for Pittsburgh
Mhm.
and are different cities.
Mhm. Okay, so it is false, definitely. But again, I had 3 students, I guess, who all of them they told me that this is true. Yeah, because they see something here. Yeah, it is connected with New York, and they try to overthink here. Yeah, of course, New York, it is something, and they just don't see these phrases like first steps, right? So that's why the last one is definitely false. You can see the answers here. I showed everything that is green, it is about true answer, and the red ones, it is about not given and false. Okay, so the next one is prediction. We basically already worked with it a little bit. So prediction, okay, before I tell you what I mean here, what is prediction for you and how you teach your students to predict the answers?
Yeah, like by
So,
looking at answers or what?
huh?
Mm-hmm.
So usually it works.
Uh,
Let's try to think about the task. Okay. So usually we predict when we have tasks with gaps. Yeah, sentence completion, summary completion, table completion, etc.
mhm, mhm.
Yelena?
So first of all, we'll look through the questions and see what part of the speech it is. It can be noun, verb, adjective, plural or singular. Then
Mhm.
also we can look at the collocations and we can like make a list of words maybe that could be used in this place. For example, if we talk about the transport and we have catch, the word catch, so it can be catch the bus, to the train, something like this.
It's a perfect technique which we use not only for reading, by the way, yeah, for listening it also works. For example, probably you know this a little bit about listening and prediction. There was some listening about the booking a hotel, and there was
Mhm.
something like a gap and view. Yeah, so we have like, I don't know, literally maximum 5 probably ideas here. Usually it's sea view and city view. Yeah. Sometimes maybe mountains view, I don't know. So it is definitely something that you can predict. And as Galina said, the first thing that we need to predict is we need to think about the part of speech. So unfortunately, for those students who don't like working with grammar and say like, don't teach me grammar, they have to think about it. Because if they don't understand what part of speech they need, they will make a mistake. Okay, we have a text about zoos here. White is not a long one, I guess, yeah. Okay, so again, let's do it like that. I will give you some time, but before we start, let's look at the tasks. So what we have here, it is a very unusual task, I think, because it's not like such a popular one. When we have a summary completion, but we have options. So when we have options in such task, it means that the words in the text will be a little bit different. So for example, they won't say carefully, probably. They will, but it can be also careful. Or it will be not entertaining, but it will be entertainment, yeah, or to entertain as a verb. So that's why they give this tasks sometimes. But there are 2 types of summary completion. Sometimes we just need to find the words in the text. So this is another type. Okay, so I guess I will give you time to look it through. Start with the task, of course. When you are ready, put a plus, please. Probably we can do it like that. If you found an answer to question number 1, we already can start. Yelena, I see that you raised your hand.
Yeah, so I guess that this word is entertaining. And
Okay,
we can find this information initially seen purely as centers of entertainment. Those were often heavily criticized and blah blah blah. So there is entertainment is changed into entertaining.
Okay, so before we started like reading the text, was it possible to understand what kind of word we can have here?
Yeah, some of them is easy to predict.
Okay, so definitely we can't have adverbs, yeah, because we don't have verbs which can be connected with this gap.
Yeah.
Sometimes people can say it about conservation, but conservation, the public, it doesn't work. Yeah, as Victoria, I guess, yeah, texted, the task can be done without reading the text, but the thing is that actually we at least have 2 adverbs here, A and B, so probably it is better to check anyway. Okay, who wants to work with me on the second question?
Let me do it. I think the second word is conservation, E.
Okay.
See that good zoos have changed their focus and are now responding to environmental problems such as the decline in wildlife and loss of habitat.
Okay, so we started here actually about conservation as well. We already have this conserving thing, yeah, about it. So that's why conservation is the correct answer, and that's also something that we could predict. Yeah, what kind of project can we have? Weekly? No. Entertaining? Probably also no. It's not the topic. Animal can work, but we don't have such a collocation here. Okay, the third one. Anna, maybe you?
It's carefully.
Okay.
Yes. But I cannot find this information in the text. I use my intuition. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So I can't show it because it's okay. So it's somewhere here. Just have this all these tools, so I don't see where I'm circling this. I guess it is the correct thing. Oh, here it is. Carefully. Okay, carefully to ensure genetic variation. So here the word is the same, right?
Yeah.
So absolutely. Okay, and the last one?
The last one is younger. It's clear from before.
Okay.
Generation, younger generation. And I didn't. I haven't read the text. The end. I think it's somewhere in the at the end.
Okay. So I want to like give some kind of tips here. Yeah. So first of all, we are teachers. Of course, it is not difficult for us. Secondly, this is not like Cambridge test. It is from a book for IELTS practice, which says that it is for students who want to have something like 6.5. So that's why the text is not that difficult. It's not that long as on the real exam. So that's why you shouldn't think that on a real exam, students can also like predict everything. Okay. So it is better to teach them to find the proofs anyway, because we have, as you can see here, we have all the key words. We have all the words from the same family in the text. So you always should check it. Okay, we go to the next one, where we are going to work with the famous, I guess, yeah, a lot of students hate it. It's matching headings, and it is usually the only one task where you need to read the text first. So let me tell you what we are going to do here. I have 3 paragraphs for you. First, we are going to read them, and I would like you to give me your own heading, title, name, whatever, for each of them. It will be really great if you text in the chat or at least write on paper, remember your ideas, because after that, I will show you the headings, the list of headings, and we will try to find something similar to your answers. Okay? Is it clear? Okay. So this is paragraph number 1. The text is called The Truth About Lying. So I give you time to read it. When you are ready, you can text your own heading to the chat.
My imagination is too poor to do this.
Okay, try to, again, we have to probably even scan for some key words and phrases. Yeah, to try to understand what is the main idea of it. Okay, we have the first question, answer already, experiment with gorillas. Okay, probably. We need more ideas. Share it, please. No idea. Actually, it's very interesting to try. So try to give at least something. Okay. It can be very short. It can be like a sentence. Yeah, but you should have some idea because after that we will check. We will check your guesses. Who said
I love
apes
the
don't
ideas in the
lie?
chat.
Yeah. Okay. Even
Nice.
gorillas lie. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess at least everybody has something about gorillas, right? So probably this is the main idea because we have this experiment. Okay, so now I guess we will go to paragraph B. The task is the same, you read and give it your own title. Okay. Experiment with children when people start lying, even babies lie. Okay. So I guess we can agree, yeah, that the main idea here, if the paragraph A was about animals, this paragraph is about children, right? The experiment on the H line. Okay, I guess we can go to the next one. It is the last 4 matching headings, and the task for you will be the same. We can't trust anybody. So this is too vague, because we don't have anything about experiment, anything about children here. So that's why it is too vague heading. Okay, paragraph C, the task is the same. I will be waiting for your answers, and then we will start discussing. Lie detection. Okay, the recognition of the person's lie. Struggles. Okay. So first of all, it's also about some experiment, right? As we had in the previous 2 paragraphs. Do we have any other ideas for this paragraph? Okay, I will look through your answers before and try to find who hasn't answered. Sabina, Zhibek. So we are waiting for some more ideas, and then we will discuss. Difficulties in lie detection, how to detect deception. Okay, so we have at least 5, and we will start checking the first one. And you know what? I realized that I don't have a slide with just the list of headings, because I decided to give you the answers. So let's do it like that. I will read you. We will go to the first. Oops. Can I change it? Okay. The first one again. And I will give you 3 options here, and you will try to choose the one which works better for this paragraph. Okay, so once again, it was about experiment, about gorillas, with gorillas. So the first one, how wrong is it to lie? The second, dealing with known liars. And the third, do only humans lie? Which do you think is the correct one? Okay. So I guess looking at your answers about paragraph A, everybody who texted, basically you got the main idea, right? So now I will show you the list of headings. And this is how our text can look like if we work with keywords. So basically it is throughout all the paragraph. And we have 2 examples of lying here. So we understand that not only humans lie. So now you see the list of headings. You remember probably that the second paragraph was about experiment with children. So which do you think is the correct heading for paragraph B? You can text, you can say 2, okay, 2, 2. Okay, let's check. Yes, it is. So we kind of have an answer to this question here, right? We know when we begin to lie. Okay, the same question about paragraph C, which was about experiment on TV. Okay. 7, 8. Okay, 8. 8. Okay, great. So all your answers are correct again. So this is how we work with this task. So matching headings, as you can see, is pretty different from the other types of tasks. So that's why this technique works really well. Because so first of all, usually I tell my students to leave it like for the last minute. I mean that for this task, students need to read the whole paragraph, the whole text, right? So that's why it is a good idea to do it the last, because probably you won't have enough time, unfortunately, to do everything there. Okay, but anyway, sometimes when they work just with keywords, there can be again distractors, some things which will distract them from the correct answer. So it is very important for them to understand what the text is about. So I always make my students give their own heading first, and then I give them the list of headings from the. Okay, so basically, our work is over. I will tell you about one more technique now, which you probably know. It is about practice, because a lot of people so first of all, there are some people who don't read. So they are preparing for the IELTS and they don't have any practice. So this is not right, of course. You should have some reading practice. And basically, we have a lot of things here. But the most important that all the materials should be authentic. So if your students are going to pass the IELTS exam, they should start reading some articles, news, blogs, and Google. Why do I have Google here? What does it mean? How is it connected? Do you recommend your students to work with Google, to use Google for anything?
Maybe that reading Google will help to identify information quickly, like finding the information that you exactly need. So looking through the whole links that are opened in Google.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so actually it is connected not only with reading, but also with writing, because Googling can help people to, first of all, they have the skills to search information. Secondly, how can we find something like some blogs or articles? Of course, we should Google. So for example, sometimes there are some texts which are too difficult for them, for example. Yeah, so we can find some articles or blogs where people just write everything with their own words, with paraphrasing, and it is much easier for them. So of course, Googling is one of the best skills now, but they need to know how to do this. So it's our work to teach them. Okay, so these are 5 things that we discussed today. For 4 of them, we had practice. And now I want to tell you about how I give my students practice, and probably you also will be interested in this thing. So I have an IELTS reading camp, which I'm going to start on the 18th of September. And it is my own, like, my idea to give my students more practice besides their lessons. So there will be 4 tasks every week. We will work with authentic materials, not only like IELTS, Cambridge, and other sources tasks, but also blogs, articles, and something like that. We will learn some new vocabulary. I will give some Quizlet sets for every article that we read. And also it will help them to find some ideas for IELTS essays, because that's usually how I work with IELTS writing with my students. So, and there will be also additional kind of prize plan. We will also write some IELTS essays if people want it. So for example, we can read an article and then find some topic which is connected to this article and write an IELTS essay, and I will give like recommendation and score and like everything they want. So I will be waiting for everybody there. So if you are interested, if you feel that you don't have enough reading in your life, as a teacher, or probably you want to understand how you can give your students like more tasks and how you can explain something, because I will give different strategies again. I will give them the lists of strategies, like how we should work with every task. So everything will be in this reading camp. So I will be really glad to see you there. So if you want to join, you can text me in Instagram. And yeah, by the way, I have also IELTS speaking camp for those who don't have speaking practice. So also, if you want, welcome. And our host also asked me to tell people from Karaganda about our training that is going to take place on the 30th of September. And we don't have any information now because it is going, now it is like an early bird price. So if you want to come, we will be waiting for you there. And today is, as far as I remember, the last day of the lowest price for this training. It's 10,000 tenge. So if you want to register, you can text Christina, Yelena, or to Scholarium Instagram to find out the details. And yeah, so see you probably on September the 30th. So, and I have the last slides here. It is question time. If you have questions or anything you want to discuss, you can text me.
Oh, can I ask a question? So where can we find information about speaking camp?
You can text me. Basically, if you are subscribed, I'm not sure if you do. I saw you in
I do.
Instagram, definitely. Okay, so I basically have all the information in stories.
Okay.
What are they called? Okay, so yeah, you can find it's called IELTS Speaking Camp. And yeah, I have everything there, all the information about how we work there and how much it costs.
Thanks.
Helen, I have a question about the technique you use for matching headings. For the first, the students should create their headings by themselves, and then they check. And have you ever used the similar technique for true, false, or not given, when students by themselves should make some statements and then in pairs or in small groups exchange their statements?
I think you definitely can do this, but of course it depends on one thing, time. Usually students who come to me, for example, they say like, oh, I have an exam like in 1 month. So we just grab the most important things and I just give you them this list of how they should work with every task. But of course, if you have students whose plans are like to pass it at least in 6 months, I guess, of course, it will be really very useful technique to use.
Because
especially if they work with detractors and all these things.
Because I asked because nowadays I have 2 girls that are going to pass their exam in spring after finishing school. That's why I thought about such a technique to use.
Yeah, basically, if they have time, why not? Yeah, so they can do the same with some other tasks as well. For example, they can make a summary, and you can ask them to make a summary completion task, for example. Anything. It works when students have time.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Yeah?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for this outstanding workshop. That was quite helpful. Yeah. And I want to ask you, can you like recommend any course books for training the reading?
I thought about it. But it was the thought which I got like maybe 1 minute before the beginning of this workshop. So yeah, you can text me. I don't work now with books which are only for one skill because like usually it doesn't work that much. Even if students say, oh, I have only problems with reading, they do have problems in something else. So that's why,
Everything.
yeah. So that's why now I work with several books. So the first is Complete IELTS. It is for different levels, but it's quite old. And but the text, for example, you can find online if you want to find the text, copy that probably. And the second is Mindset for IELTS. This is the new one. Also, we have four even levels. Actually, if you have some students who are going to move to Canada, for example, and some of them need only like 4 or 5, band 5 or 4 in IELTS, it is perfect because it's just for some kind of pre-intermediate students, and it shows all these techniques there. So if you need reading, you can just take all the reading tasks from these books.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, any other question? Okay, so then I guess I will